everybody, I'm Susie here, and I have an awesome guest, Alexa from Kids Activities with Alexa, and she's grown her blog to an awesome success while being a fantastic mama. So Alexa, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit and tell us how you started your blog?
Yes, so my name is Alexa, and I have started, different blogs before, but none of them really took off. So what I have now is something awesome, and it's called Kid Activities with Alexa. So I teach moms with babies from 0 to 3 years old how to entertain, how to teach, and how to play with them at home. So a lot of us are stay-at-home moms, and we pay for classes to go and participate, but that's like once a week, and then we're like, what do I do with the rest of the 24 hours and the rest of the 6 days a week? Like, well, what am I gonna do? I found myself like asking those questions, and then I started sharing a little bit of that. And my story is a little unique because I started local. My goal was to understand who I was talking to, because I took your I did the ebook, the How to Start a Mom Blog ebook, because I was like, okay, I know I want to talk to moms. That's my first step. What do I do now? Okay, I started going here and there and did free this and download that and talk to Pinterest and talk to Twitter, and it was like all over the place. And I said, okay, just tell me 1, 2, 3, and I'll follow it. You tell me what to do, and I will hustle and I will do it. So, that was kind of like, my first step. And then one of the moms, I have a friend that's a local blogger. She said, you know what? A lot of people that I know start local. So why don't you start local? Yeah. I said, I don't want a local. I want to take over the world. How am I going to start local if I want to just talk to like every mom in the world? She said, hold your horses. Start small. Figure out first who you want to talk to, because you want to talk about everything. Like I started the lifestyle blog, kitchen and cleaning and dogs and kids and activities. And, I'm not a really good cook. So I was like the best, honestly, if you look for it, it's there. I was like the best banana bread you could find. Yeah. It comes in a box. Go buy the box. It was, but I started, it just kind of got me going. Yeah. Awesome. So I started local, and I started just talking to moms and oh, wait, you're like me, you're a new mom. And, you also don't know what to do with your kids. And, oh, you don't know how to do tummy time? Don't worry about it. Like, I learned all of this, and I can do this. And I'm very creative. Yeah. I worked with kids before. So for me, coming up with activities and doing messy stuff is just very natural. So I started hosting meetups.
That's awesome.
Free meetups. Because 1, I needed to get out of the house.
Yes.
2, I wanted to know more about these moms. So at the end of the meetup, I did a survey. I would do a survey, and I would ask them, okay, who are you? How old are you? Just kind of the basics. Yeah. Because they tell you you're supposed to ask that. But then I asked, what was your biggest challenge as a mother right now? Yeah. And because we're all had babies within the same age group, I started getting the feedback that, wait a minute, we're all kind of in this thing of we don't know what to do, but we want the best for our kids. Yeah. We know there's all these milestones they need to reach, but how do we get there? What can we do? We want to do it. It's exactly like the blog. Tell me what to do, right, and I will do it. Yeah. So I took that, and I started everything that I was learning, local with the moms. I started applying it online. And I told them, what do you want? My goal was the first year is to build a tribe. Just get those moms, see what they want, start niching down to, what is it that I wanted to talk about? What am I good at too, right? It needed to be something that I was good at. And one of them said, you know what, there's so many activities on Pinterest. There's so much going on. I just want something that I can just quickly look and see. And I said, okay. You wanna, Susie says she knows how to make an ebook, so I'm gonna go buy that. So I bought that.
So smart.
And then on the ebook you said involve the tribe. Ask them, involve them on the cover, ask them on the name. So they chose every product that I made. Awesome. They have chosen the name. They have approved the stuff. So I release it to them. I have a private group. I have 2 groups. Yeah. A Facebook group with the local ones. Yeah. And then I have like one for the activities and stuff that it's like open. And like you said, you just go and you ask them and you do this. And before I knew it, I was doing meetups, then I was doing classes. Now I do sensory classes because they asked for it. I released the products. They bought it. Like I didn't have to sell it. They were like, just give it to me. Just give it to me. Then they told me, you know what? I love it, but it's just, I don't have my computer and I don't have my phone. And can I just have it in my hand?
Yeah.
And I said, you want it printed? And then they said, yes. And I said, but Kinko's and them, they're so expensive.
Right.
So I did, it took me a while. I'm like, please hold on. And I found someone that could print them. And now I sell them printed. And I sell most of them printed. Like I do have a few that, buy it digitally, but mostly is that digital. So now I'm like, boxes and FedEx, and then going to the UPS with my 7 boxes. And the guy's like, oh, you're again. So he celebrates every time I come with boxes.
That's awesome.
In through it. Like I was like, no, I just need to send 1 box. That's it. Now I go with 7 boxes. He's like, you again. I'm like, hi.
Oh, that's so fantastic. So that is so awesome. You actually went in person and you met your avatar. You met your reader and you connected with them, and then you asked them for feedback. So it wasn't just you sitting behind your computer trying to figure it all out. You immersed yourself. I love that. That's such a great idea. And how many ideas did you get from your students?
Oh, there's so many. And the thing is, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I have my toddler with me. So I can't be behind the computer all the time. And then I feel guilty if I do, because I'm supposed to be entertaining him. Yeah. So then I took the opportunity to just blend it too. So, I started just going and, all the time. So now my son is almost 2, but I still have moms that have, 4-month-old babies, 5-month-old that are coming in, and they're coming up with this whole new of struggles that we didn't think about when, I started. So, now they're giving me more ideas. So I'm like, there's so many stuff I want to do. So now I want to try to get into video and kind of do some of that. So basically like take me home, because they want to do 101.
Yeah.
And I do personal coaching. Like I do personal sessions for, tummy time, things like that. But I'm like, okay, you got to think big, and how can you take this to bigger? So
you got to launch a course.
I know I'm getting there.
Awesome. Baby steps.
Let me just try a few like YouTube videos, right?
Yeah. Warm yourself up.
I started just getting my fear out of video with doing just Instagram stories, because it's a fear. If you talk to them, you don't even have to see them again. You talk to them, you launch it, and that's it. And then I started getting more comfortable. So I started doing weekly lives, just, what was going on in the area to do with your kids, and a little tip. You could do a little finger play song or a little, activity that you could do, and started getting comfortable. So now I'm like getting into doing, videos, but that has all of its challenges when you just put it on YouTube. But yeah, like, I think it's like, once you know who you're talking to, everything is a lot easier, because they just tell you what they want. You just execute.
I love that. So like people in other niches. So Alexa does moms with little babies from 0 to 3. In other niches, you could also go meet people and ask them about like, what decluttering issues do you have? What, like, maybe you can host like a little fitness class in the park and your kids can be playing in the park. So there's different ways. I love this idea of like actually going and meeting the people in person.
It's like a focus group. They just don't know it. And you don't have to be the expert. Like, you don't have to be the expert. Like I have a friend who is a sign language teacher for the deaf. Like that is her thing. And I said, but moms would love to learn sign language for their babies, because, for toddlers, like, learning that communication when the toddler years where they can't speak but they can sign. So you don't have to be the expert. What I did is I, convinced her. It took me 3 months to convince her to just host, like a meetup, a class. Yeah. And she was the teacher. All I did was just put it together. And so you bring the expert that, they're known for the thing. And then you just listen, and you listen what the moms say, and you listen what they want. And I'm sure like it applies to every niche. You just grab that one guy that knows how to clean the garbage cans, and then you'd be like, hey, why don't you want to teach somebody,
Okay, so then the question would be like, how do you get these people? Where do you advertise that you have a focus group?
So I participate in the local Facebook groups.
Okay, smart.
And then I'm expanding obviously to now the activity groups and like the toddler groups. But there's Facebook groups for everything.
Mhm.
So if you just, I'm sure you put like decluttering moms, I'm sure there's like a Facebook group that says decluttering moms, and then you can do it. Because when I was starting to learn Montessori, because I wanted to implement it, then I went into Facebook and find out, what was happening. And you just ask, you'd be like, hey, I want to do some songs and I'm terrible at singing, like awful. So I just put it out there. I'm like, hey, somebody know how to sing? I'm trying to do some videos. And then I had one of the teachers say, yeah, I have a guitar, I can sing this and that. So I think that the Facebook groups, and for me, like it was the local, because it was easier them to just, get them in. But, I started doing it at home, which my husband then did not like because it was just too much. Yeah. You have 5 moms, it's fine. When you have 25, you're like, Ale, they don't even fit in the parking lot.
But that's awesome, showing how popular it's getting.
Yeah.
All right. So how is this related now to your blog? How are you getting traffic to your blog organically, online? I know obviously your focus group is going to your blog, but then is there other ways that you're getting traffic to your website?
So everything I do with them locally, all the meetups, I transfer it online. So I have the pictures. I use them for the pictures, right? I'm like, I do this activity with Jello, and then I was like, okay, let's bring it to, bring it. So I bring it to kind of bring it so moms can see it, that it's in real life. Yeah. And then I use, the regular SEO and Pinterest. And I use a lot of the Facebook groups to kind of push the, the new post and the new ideas. And I participate. Like I spend, because when I'm breastfeeding, it's like you're forever there. Instead of just wasting my time on the feed, I go to these groups and I hear the moms like, hey, do you know, like, I'm struggling with tummy time. Do you know something that can help me? And I'd be like, oh, yes. Or, my son eats everything that you put around, he eats it. So how am I going to do activities? So I have a post about, edible, safe activities that you can do. So I go to my blog, I find the link. I'd be like, oh, you know what? You could do, yogurt with paint, and you can do this. And here's a link to all these other activities. So she gets it, and then everybody else that's interested in that topic gets into it. And then they see they like it, they subscribe, and then it's just built onto that.
That's smart. You're very much into relationship building. I love that. So how long have you had this blog? And then when did you actually start making some income through it?
So I had an old blog that it was about happiness. Okay. It was called Happiness y Punto. So it was a bilingual blog. And I decided to keep that blog. So that one started in 2015, maybe. Mm-hmm. So I started to keep that just because I had a base that I didn't want to lose. Yeah. But it didn't work because people couldn't pronounce the y punto part because it's in Spanish. Yeah. It wasn't kid related. And then
what does it mean, in punto?
It like period, like happiness. Period. Like that's it. Like we're happiness and that's it. So I was like, oh, happiness at home and through life and motherhood. But then the local moms were like, y punto, like you just couldn't do it. So then I redesigned it, rebranded November last year.
Okay, no, awesome.
18.
The year before.
18,
yes.
Yeah, the year before. Because I said after that, and let me build the tribe. So my goal was year 1, build the tribe. Year 2, monetize the brand. So like, smart. So figure it out, like do something. But it kind of came a little, the monetization part a little before because they started telling me what to do. And I was like, I'm not going to wait a year. I'm jumping in the wagon. I'm giving you what you want. So like officially, let's say, it's been a year that I think I actually,
that's fantastic. Yeah. I love that mindset of you build the tribe first and then the tribe will give you ideas on what to monetize. A lot of new bloggers like, okay, I'm going to add affiliate links. I'm going to monetize day 1. And yes, it could work, but it's much smarter to build that tribe like you did.
Well, it's a lot slower because I did the affiliate thing and I tried. I mean, every post I was like, here's Amazon and here's this. But if they're looking at on a mobile and it opens on Amazon app, I think there's a way that sometimes the pixel doesn't go through and then you lose it. And then, I'm advertising activities, how to do it affordable. So you're buying a $4, finger puppet. How much is the affiliate going to be on that?
Right.
But then if you create your own product, you spend a lot longer, then everything, like you do it and every penny is yours. So then that's kind of, I was like, okay, that's kind of the end goal.
All right. So tell us more about you creating and launching your first ebook.
So I started, I did I asked the moms, and I also saw it in the groups. Like, it wasn't just my local moms. Like, I was in a lot of groups and they were all very struggling, like how to entertain a baby. And if you look online, it's a lot of preschool activities and you're like, well, fun, but I don't want to wait until then. What can I do now? So, I said, well, I have some ideas. Like, what if I just put it together on a book? Would you buy it? And they were all, yes. I said, okay, I'll give you a pre-sale price. You pay for it now, I'll build it. And when it's done, then you have gotten it for cheaper.
So smart.
And I got a few sales because I was like, I call it like, I call it the pasta technique. I throw it out there, and if it sticks, I go with it.
Right.
And if it falls, you grab another bowl of pasta, something else that you create, and you throw it. And if it sticks, you go with it.
I love it. So this one stuck.
Yeah. So that one stuck, and I was like, okay, how do we do this? Like, how do we make it like pretty, and like, how do I sell it, and how do I send it? And then I was like, well, Susie, what you got for me? Because if you told me how to kind of, do this ABC step with the brand and the categories and everything, I'm sure you can tell me what to do. And so I went and I looked, and I was like, there it is. That's my baby. So then I bought it, and then I went through it, and I started, doing it. And like, I'm a designer, so I've done everything I used to do everything in Illustrator and Photoshop and in design. Like, I did a happiness ebook.
Yeah.
Just, how to be happy from, all the blog collections that I have created. That was kind of how I wrapped up my other blog. And, I spent hours because it's so technical. And then here comes you. It's like, PowerPoint lady, like, you it and around, and I create my graphic and whatever, and bring it back, and look at this beauty.
It's awesome.
That's PowerPoint.
Looks
like,
great.
It's PowerPoint. Like, it doesn't get any cuter than that.
Right. You don't have to overcomplicate it.
Don't.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when I took, you were doing a tutorial on how to do a resource library. Mm-hmm. And you're like, don't complicate yourself. Just take a screenshot or your freebie and put it there. I'm like, oh, Susie, it needs to look good. I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to put it. So I did like 6 of them. And by the end, I was like, I'm just putting this screenshot. And I started just putting the screenshots. And then I went back. I'm like, man, it looks better, just the screenshot. So then I had to go back, and all that extra work, it was not needed.
Oh,
so sometimes you just have to go simple.
Yeah.
Simple is better.
Yeah, we can get stuck in the weeds and like overcomplicate things and try to make them look perfect, and then we're not doing any work and we're not helping our tribes.
No, I am an expert at complicating myself.
Oh, that's okay.
But so then I go Susie, and Susie says, sticky notes, Ale. You want to organize your calendar? Sticky notes. I don't know if you could see.
I see them.
It's somewhere there. Sticky notes.
I love them. Yeah, mine's in the corner over there. There you go.
Yeah, yes.
Hiding behind the tree, trying to make it look all clean behind me. But okay, so now you launch your ebook. How much are you making now per month with your blog, if you don't mind me asking?
So since November, I started launching the sensory classes, and then I launched my last product. I do about, it was funny because when you posted who wanted to, participate, and it was like $1,000. I said, I don't think I make $1,000. Let me go check. And I went, and I was $1,129. I was like, oh, Susie, did you see that? So since November, because when you don't see it as a business, you make money and pennies and here. And, my first goal was like, can you buy a coffee with it? Yes, I can. Okay. Can you buy, can you pay your, I said my cell phone bill or something,
Good.
Just a little bit more. And, I've been just with the mentality that I have enough to pay just my cell phone bill.
Yeah.
I never really looked because I was like, taxes, who needs that? You're making pennies.
Right.
And then when you talked about it, I said, well, let me check. Oh, it was this month, and it wasn't even the end of January. I had made already, $1,120. And I was like, Ale? Well, Alexander, what is this? So I went back. I was like, you did that in December too, and you didn't even notice, because I launched
Wow.
like in December I did a toy guide.
Yeah.
Just so, educational toys,
That's
and just kind
smart.
of get out of the clutter from all that garbage that they sell out there.
Yeah.
And so that was affiliate. That was pure affiliate.
Super smart.
And then, slowly I just been getting like sales from the ebooks, from the baby book. And then I have other products. So the more products I create, then that kind of library of resources kind of grows. So
I love it. That's so awesome. Like, some people watch their money like a hawk and they're like, oh, I made 60 cents or whatnot. And you're like, I'm just doing my thing, doing my thing. Oh, I made $1,000.
I did it, but then you get tired of going to Amazon Analytics,
Yeah.
and you're like, you made $3.62. Well, GP, like that doesn't even get me the big, coffee.
Right.
So then I was like, because my goal at the first year was not the money.
Right.
It was not. So I wasn't concerned about if it was coming in, if it was coming out. My thing was like, are you providing value?
Yeah.
Are you helping the moms?
Yeah.
Is there something that you can, do it? Good, great. Coffee on me, but now I'm on to year 2, and my year 2 is monetization.
Good.
Like, that's my goal. So now I'm like, wait, there's like, there's actually a report you can see.
Yeah.
That it tells you how much money you're making and which are the products that are bringing that money. Because I have all these different products and I have little events and little things, but I can see now like the big picture, what's actually bringing in the money month over month, and then just kind of expand onto that. That's the goal.
Super smart. So I highly encourage you to do a video course. Like, do your YouTube videos, do your Instagram stories. I'm glad you're like warming up to it, but I think you would do fantastic with a little video course where people can see your personality and you actually explaining this to them. So just in the future.
I just have to figure out like, what am I going to teach you in a video?
That's great. Ask your audience. You have an awesome tribe.
Right. It's simple. I ask them. So
that's awesome. So what tips do you have for people who are just starting their blog and they don't really know what to do?
Start, because you know what, you go into this planning mode, and because you don't know who you want to talk to, and you don't know what you want to talk about, and just start. Create different categories. You kind of know who you want to talk to. Like, I wanted to talk to moms. That was my category. Moms with kids, maybe little kids, because that's kind of what I knew, or maybe stepmoms because, I have stepson. So maybe that. So I started just writing a little bit of everything. Just create your categories and just write, because that's going to help you start, learning how to write, getting your style. Like, people talk about like your style, and you really don't get it until you're like there trying to put an idea out and try to make it sound cool. You start kind of, learning, and then, pictures, and you have to practice taking pictures, because that itself is kind of like, a challenge. So I would say, one, just jump, and then, nobody has to see it. Look, my other blog, my family never knew about it. Never. Because they knew me, and,
Yeah.
So I just went out and found my own people. Yeah. So if you're, just start. And then once you start making money, they'll be like, oh, you do money, you blog. Now they want to be part of it.
Yeah, now they want to be part of it.
Now they're like, oh, you're so cool. I always been cool.
You are cool.
So, so start. And then my other thing has always been, you have to spend money to make money. I don't know who taught me that, and I'm number one spender, but I do spend on resources, on tools, on things, because it's $50, it's a new dress, but $50 is going to get you a course that is going to teach you everything you need to know about like a specific area that you want to do.
Yeah.
Or you can go and find it free and takes 7 months to try to learn something that somebody took the time to create a course, to put it together for you, and be like, boom, 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 do 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So I'm a full believer, do it. I do try, like, when it comes to tools, the free versions.
Yeah.
Free until I say, okay, well, I think I need a little more. Or sometimes I'm like, you're too cool. Like, this tool, I need you. And I pay for it. And sometimes it works, but it just makes things easier.
Yeah.
Like, we try to do everything so cheap and so things that we just complicate ourselves and just make things harder. But if you're telling me like how to grow that's my next, how to grow my email list even more, I could go and find on Pinterest 100 million blogs about it, or somebody can tell me in an organized way, do this first, do this second, do this thing. And I can tell you that's the difference between my last blog that only made like $50 in like 5 years to this blog that it has a good income within a year.
That's amazing.
That I took it seriously for someone to tell me A, B, C, and then I just did it.
Oh, I love that, Alexa. That's like such a time saver because our time is so valuable. Like, don't waste your time on try to DIYing everything. Like there's a big cost to that as well.
There's things you can DIY, like go DIY, I don't know, a pillow or, but there's like, no, it just, you have to ask yourself, because sometimes like either you have time or money. Yeah. And as moms, we don't have, one of my blogger friends, she used to say that, you either have time or money, and which one are you going to invest? And for me, I never had the time, or I didn't want to have 8 months to learn the ropes. Yeah. When I could just pay someone, a few bucks, and then they would just tell me how to do it, and then I would go and try it. So I think those are like two. I had a third one, but now I forgot about it. So.
No, those two are awesome. Those are great tips.
Stick with those, and you'll be fine.
So, Alexa, how can we find out more about you? Can you show us a little bit about your products so that everybody who's interested in kids activities for their babies to 3-year-olds can go check you out?
Yeah, so you can go to kidactivitieswithalexa.com, and there you're going to find a lot of resources on how to, play with intention, learn about your baby's development, your toddler, and, all these different activities that you could do, that are safe by their age. So the products that I highly, highly created with your magical courses. So the first one is the Fun Under One. Awesome. And the girls, they chose the name, so it's just fun activities you can do before they're 12 months old. Mm-hmm. And it's divided by stages, so like if your baby is only lifting their chest, it has activities. If your baby is already crawling, so different activities. If your baby's almost walking and you want to do some messy stuff, I love messy, you'll find a lot of messy activities that you could do.
Oh, that's so cute.
There's like all these different things that you can do at home. And, I have some teachers, I think, that have even like implemented it. Yeah. So, if you have a baby under 1, there's an activity you can do a week from the moment they're born till the moment they're 12 months old without repeating it. Yeah. Which, you obviously are going to repeat it, because once you find something they like, you're going to do it.
Right.
And then
you should drop off some of those copies at like local preschools. And like give it to the preschool teacher, and then have her like maybe tell other moms about it that are in the preschools.
That's a good idea. And I do my sensory classes at a preschool.
Super smart. Yeah, I love that. Keep going.
So then if you have, then the next stage is, okay, you have a toddler, so you want to start teaching them stuff. So this is the first edition, and this one you can print it or you can buy it, but it's how to teach pre-K concepts. Okay, awesome. So it's like learning and colors, and it's like very interactive activities that you can do. And that one is for the busy mom. Like you only have 15 minutes so that you can actually, I call it the coffee break folder. So you want to take a little coffee break, like you want to drink your coffee hot, but then you want to, you don't want them to put them in front of the TV. Yeah. Then you go through the workbook, and it's just, worksheets, like lots of just, sounds. And so it took me a while to figure out what to teach a 1-year-old, because everybody starts just preschool, but there's a lot you can teach. There's a lot you can do. So the workbook is that. But then if you're like, I want to do more, I am like the mom to do more stuff. Like I want to homeschool my 1-year-old, if that's even a thing. Then I just released my first school.
First school. Oh, I love it.
So this is a curriculum. Yeah. So it's full of songs. It has finger puppets you can do. It's like printables. So you just rip out the page, you cut it, and you do it. It has like math activities you can do. So this is more like every week, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So it gives you like even a calendar of, either by month, so that you have activities for Valentine's Day and you have activities for different things. So this is kind of like homeschooling your 1-year-old.
I
Like
love
it has
it.
an assessment page you can do, so you can see, be like, okay, he can say moo or he can say so I need to be working more on this. So you kind of keep track. So it kind of gives you a guide, so you play with intention. And then if you have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, because I'm just developing the 2-year-old program right now, because my son is 2. So as I learn, I teach. So all the activities we do at home and everything that I learn, I put it on the blog. So we have like sections for that.
I love that, Alexa. That's awesome. Thank you for showcasing your products. I think they look fantastic. So I will put links in the description below and in the blog post where you can find Alexa's products and find out more about her. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate your help and all your amazing advice.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, because I am where I am because part of it, I took a lot of your advice, and I think when I first found you, I watched every YouTube video you had there, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can, I can take something offline. So I definitely recommend it if you're a mom and you're like in the border, if you don't know where to start or how to start, did it like me. I bought the ebook. I didn't buy the e-course because it was too much of a commitment. I didn't know if I was going to stick through it. I didn't know if I was going to be able to just achieve the baby steps. Start small, start with the ebook, and that's going to kind of give you, the step-by-step. If you see that, technically you need a little extra help, or you're visual, if you're visual, you want someone to just show you and see you, then the course is like amazing because it's like having Susie next to you, showing you. So definitely invest in what you want. I mean, if this is just a hobby, then, go get a book. But if you really want to get something out of it, if you really want to build a business, then invest in it. So that's kind of what I want to leave you with.
Thank you so much, Alexa. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll talk about how this e-course thing, because I think I can do a course. I think I can do this.
I think we might have you back on the channel in a year from now after you launch your course, and we're going to have a follow-up on how successful it's been.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to put that on my goals.
Yes.
I'm going to put it on my goals.
All right. Next year, January, we'll see you again.
Yes. Let's do this.
Awesome. Thanks, Alexa.
Right, thanks, Susie.